Hello, scientists. We're going to watch a video together about forces. Before we start, we just want to talk about a few questions. So the first question I want you to think about is, can objects or things move on their own? Objects or things move on their own. So look around in the room you're in at some different objects and think about, do they move on their own? Or does something else make them move? So that leads us to question 2. What are some ways we can make objects or things move? How do we make any object move? Maybe to help us think about that, we can answer question number 3. How would we get a soccer ball to move during a soccer game? How do we get a soccer ball to move during a soccer game? And there are lots of answers. We could kick the ball, right? We might have a throw in and throw the ball, or we're the goalie and we can throw the ball. So those are some ways we get objects like a soccer ball to move. So now let's watch the video together.
But first, let's remember that a force is a push or a pull that makes things move. To show you that, I'll need a shopping cart.
A push is when you use force to move something away from you.
And a pull is when you use force to move something towards you.
Excellent! We use push.
Let's finish the sentence. A push is used to move something away from you. Move something or things away from you.
Pushes and pulls to move a shopping cart through the grocery store so we can shop for food.
Do you think next time you could imagine a shopping cart without a squeaky wheel?
And maybe one with some more snacks?
Maybe next time.
What force did Dr. Jeff use to move the shopping cart? He used a push to move the shopping cart.
Now, can either of you think of other examples of using force in our everyday life?
Oh, I've got one.
Okay.
If I want to score the winning shot, I have to use force to push the basketball towards the hoop. Booyah!
Nice shot, Olivia. You use force to push the basketball into the hoop. Can you think of an example that uses force to pull something?
I've got one. If I want to clear weeds from my yard, I use force and pull them from the ground towards me.
Yay! And then I have to use force to pull out the tissue to get into my nose because of my allergies.
What force did Olivia use on the tissue? Hopefully you said pull. She pulled the tissue to move it toward herself.
I totally get it. Forces can make things move.
That's right, but it's not all. Forces can also change the motion of things. Whoa!
So, if I want to change this ball's motion, I can use force to push on it, which makes it stop.
And if I want to change the ball's motion to be faster, I can use force for that too.
Nice. We know that a force is a push or pull, and that it can change the motion of things. Now,
Forces like push or pull can move things away from us or toward us. What else can forces do? Dr. Kyle just said forces can also change motion, can change the motion.
let's go back to the lab and do an investigation. All right, we learned that forces make things move, but they can also be strong or weak, and they can go in different directions. Using force, push Elijah into the bowling pins.
Wow, I'm not as good of a bowler as I thought.
Don't worry, Olivia. All you need to do is push with more force.
How far you can push something depends on how much force you use. If you don't use enough force, Elijah won't go far enough. Using too much force could push him too far.
He's trying to say, push harder.
Yes, you can do it!
I pushed with as strong of a force as I could.
You sure did. Remember that you also have to push him in the right direction.
But if I don't send Elijah in the right direction, can we use force to change his motion?
We sure can. Forces make things speed up, slow down, and they can also make things change direction. This time, use a strong force to send Elijah straight into the pins. If it goes to the side, I'll use another force to change his direction so we can score.
Did Dr. Jeff use a force to change the direction of Elijah? Yes. Which force did he use? Dr. Jeff used a push to change the direction of Elijah.
Booyah! Again!
That was awesome.
Olivia uses force to make Elijah move. Then I use force to change his motion. Strike! Now, let's review.
Today we learned that a force is a push or pull that can make things move.
Pushes and pulls can be strong or weak.
Pushes or pulls can also change an object's motion.
And now you know.